All right, we are here at New Balance Nationals with your boys, 2-mile champion, back-to-back, Danny Simmons, 8:38, breaking your own meet record. How are you feeling after that one? It's toasty out there.
It is pretty hot. That is true. I'm feeling good. I mean, that was a tough race, but I feel good. I feel happy.
It's been a whirlwind of a week for you with the 5K out in Portland where you ran 13:25, putting you right on the cusp of trying to get into the Olympic trials. Hey, here's my call right now. Cole Hawker, Yard Nagoose, just scratch, let the kid in. It's like you guys might make the 1500 team. We need one more spot. We need one guy to scratch and you're in for the trials. But overall, how are you feeling coming off of that race in Portland?
That was the hardest race of my life. Like, that was a killer race. So, being here, I feel good, but like I know it's still, I can still feel it in me. Like that 5K is still there. I'm like, oof. Yeah, that was a tough race, so it's carrying its weight for sure.
How did you and Coach kind of build out the season so that you could, attack that 5K and, make that a record, chase and attempt, and then at the same time, be ready for New Balance Nationals where you've got to defend your title and then come up against, some of the best high schoolers?
Well, I think so. Mainly me and my coach plotted out to state and then to the trials. We got mainly, I don't know, all I did basically from my state meet to the trials was just build my base back up because, you kind of cut down for the state meet. I was in the low 40s and so that we feel fresh and can score as many points there. And then, so basically my whole mantra was to get the base back up. So I was just running like long runs, doubling, getting up like 13, 14 miles a day. And then I did I did two workouts that I feel like made a difference in my ability to sustain that base for the 5K. And so, yeah, basically just long runs. That was my.
So what's that mileage total up to at the end of every week?
I think the highest I got was like 84.
Okay.
So,
wow. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to watch the race. You know how this goes. You've won a national title before, so you've gotten the chance to sit down with us. We'll start to play the race, and then, keep in back of your head, you're going to have to call that last lap.
Oh, yeah.
And you did good. But here we are on the starting line. The thing that's so interesting to me is everyone on the start line has, like, the jitters, and you are just calm, cool, collected. What are you thinking about in these early parts of the race?
Well, I feel like my main thoughts was like I don't want to go out too fast because going out too fast is so killer towards the end of the race. You can really feel the pain. And so I was like, I want to keep it calm. I want to stay strong and feel good going into the last lap so that I can really wheel it down and kick hard. And so like right here, I'm not worried about position. I'm not worried about being in front. I'm just trying to stay in the flow and feeling good.
So I guess the high school record is, 8:29, and then Drew ran 8:31 earlier this season. If this race was yesterday, because they did move it because of the rain delay and it was cooler temperatures, was that something you thought about attacking, or are you still feeling that 5K a little bit?
I definitely wanted to go for it, go big, go home. That's my play, and so I was just going for it. But last night if it was cooler, it probably would have been a little easier because it was pretty hot in the middle. But I don't know. Yeah, that 5K on Sunday, definitely I'm still feeling it. So the temperature, it does a little, but I don't think it would make that much of a difference. So, all honesty, it was as best as it was going to be. So.
Yeah. All right. So in these early parts of the race, you kind of just decide to tuck in, with the leaders. Who's the kid up in front? Cameron Todd doing a lot of the work early on. I mean, what was your plan? Just kind of sitting up there in the front.
Well, I could feel the wind. There's a little bit, so I was like, maybe I can just catch a draft real quick and for the first couple laps, as long as we're on pace. And so I was kind of sitting there on his hip, getting a little wind reduction. But towards the end of the second lap, I was like, dang, this isn't as fast as I thought it would be, but this is still hard. So I don't know. It was interesting.
This race felt like an exercise in patience for sure, because it's sort of like I kept watching each time he came around that you were just, you were right on his heels, and there's an element to you have to rein it back. You couldn't just go yet. So how did you kind of bring yourself back? Cause you're literally on his shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I was trying not to think too much about the time, but I also was like, oh, come on, I got to run faster than this. So
Because people watching would probably be like, oh, based off what he ran in the 5K, this should have felt easy. But because of the conditions, it wasn't easy today.
No, yeah, it was tough. I felt it for sure, and there was a lot of mental thought going into this of like, concerns. I'm like, well, who knows how this is actually gonna go, but we're gonna go big. So
was there a thought process with your coach of just like, okay, a good first mile would be this? Because then I guess if we fast forwarded a little bit, we get to the point where it's like, you guys hit the mile in 4:22, I think.
It might have been 4:24.
4:24.
Not
okay.
quite sure.
Yeah, but when you hear that split, it was like, all right, that was good, and you're just gonna kind of like crank it down from there and squeeze.
I was like, it is what it is. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go hard now. I gotta work for it this time. But
what feels different compared to last year? Because you won this race last year. So was there like aerobically, speed-wise, like how much better do you feel year over year?
Well,
the times speak for themselves.
Yeah. That's an interesting question. Yeah, I feel like this year I definitely feel more aerobic strength and aerobic base in me because, like, I don't think I could have ran even close to a 13:25 last year, but in the 5K mainly. I don't know.
You're sharp,
year,
yeah. And then if we keep going a little bit, this is the point, I guess, like 5 minutes into the race, you have made your move up to the front.
Yeah.
You seem to, do you like that style? Last week would have been a little bit different because you were chasing people.
Yeah. I like leading, but like, I typically have to lead on the high school scene, but in the pro scene, it was like kind of nice, especially like in the laps where it started hurting. I could just like look at the person's back and be like, do whatever he does.
Yeah.
And then make your own move when the time comes. And so,
do you feel like you have it in the bag at this point, or just sort of like no?
I mean, I was like,
you start to gap them a little bit, and you don't look back. It's tough to sometimes see on the video board, but like for you, did you think like, oh, they might be on my heels?
Well,
you could hear the crowd a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
I could hear them. I couldn't really feel them on my heels, but like I was like, I know there's some guys with like brutally fast kicks, so like they could be 30 meters behind me and still hawk me down if I give up, right? Like if I stop putting on the gas. Like if I let off the gas at all, these guys can catch me if they really want it that bad. So my main goal is to like don't let off the gas at all.
You executed the squeeze really well. It was like I think 65, 63, and then the final lap when we get to it here, it was a 59.
59, okay.
How does that all sound to you?
That sounds pretty good. I don't know. It was hot, so like closing harder when it's hot, and when you're by yourself is kind of hard, but it felt good.
All right, final stretch coming up. You call the race. What's going on here?
Ooh.
Oh, we got one more lap to go.
Okay,
actually.
I was like 7:33.
All right, here we go. They ring the bell.
Yeah, here we go.
You take us through it. What's going through your head?
Daniel Simmons, what's going on in my head? Okay, we grinding, bro. This is the last 400 meters. Just keep the I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it's just like keep the flow going. We're gonna kick at 300. Kick at 300. That'll be a new gear spot. And then basically, I'm just trying to haul and not let anything off the gas. Use my strength.
The arms.
Yeah. Use your biceps. Driving hard. I've never noticed my arms look like that. It's kind of interesting.
The form looks great.
Yeah. From the front view, my arm kind of like circles, and it's kind of funny.
All right, final 100 here. Everything you got at this point.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, yeah, I was going for it. I definitely wanted to drive, and you can see, like, I'm not trying to hold back. I'm trying to go for it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another national title for Daniel Simmons. Like, it's just at this point, where are you keeping all these trophies?
Dude, that's a funny question. My roomie's getting a little heavy with stuff. I just have a jar that I put all my medals in. The cool ones I hang up on a board. All the trophies are just on top of my dressers.
Yeah, love it. Well, there's definitely more to come. You've got, one more race as a high schooler?
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully get you into the trials.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's BYU.
For sure.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel, I appreciate you taking the time. Maybe we get to chat after the mile as well. But it's so far so good. And with this season, it's been magical.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Awesome.